Skarloey was one of the really useful engines on the Sodor Railway since the rescue of Hank. Without Hank's help, he and Wilhelmina would never escape that place ever and ever. And then finally, they were all good as their word all day. One morning, he was talking to Ben. Finally, said Skarloey. Just then, he began talking to Ben about how Hank saved, how he got sent to the scrapyard to be scrapped. Well, anyway, continued Skarloey, my controller from my other railway didn't want me anymore, so he decided to send me away. But then luckily I didn't care about his cruel words about me and Wilhelmina, so we managed to run away. But we didn't, since the dead end at rainy night, and there we were, continued Skarloey, all alone with two diesels. They send us to the scrapyard. But after that, he went on, Hank managed to save us. Without his help, we could never have got ourselves out, he said. Ben smiled and realized it for a moment. Really? Said Ben. Yeah, he rescued us then. At this kinda fort, he said. And now me and Wilhelmina look good as our word. Now we are the greatest ones in our word, he said all the time. Really then, said Ben. Well, anyway, said Skarloey, goodbye, and Skarloey puffed away with Wilhelmina. At the next day, Skarloey was puffing into the docks, but when he arrived at the docks, there were new coaches. They were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coaches. But Skarloey didn't know that these coaches were new and odd to him. Hank, however, puffed in to see him. Just then he spoke to Skarloey. These coaches are the new coaches in the railway, he said. Really? Said Skarloey. I hope they're not better than Wilhelmina, he said. No, not at all, said Hank. Well, anyway, I must go, he said. So where's Wilhelmina? At the yards. Well, I'll take her back to her sheds then. Well, I'll take her back to the carriage shed where she needs to go to sleep in, he said. And what will she do while she's sleeping at night? said Hank, and Hank puffed away to find Wilhelmina. Just then there was Wilhelmina at a siding, so Hank decided to take her to the carriage shed. I remember you, said Wilhelmina. You have been with us since your rescue about us, said Wilhelmina. Really? Said Hank. Surely for what I mean, said Wilhelmina. Without your help, we could never escape the scrapyard ever and ever. And what will me and Skarloey do without you? I'm not sure anyway, said Hank. So Hank decided that he should not Hank decided not to talk, so that he'll try to concentrate on Wilhelmina. Just then they arrived at the carriage shed, and then there were the coaches. Then Wilhelmina was shunted into the coach siding where she wanted to sleep. So Hank had finally met. So Wilhelmina made Hank put the right spot for Wilhelmina. "Thanks," said Wilhelmina. "And about the scrap. First it was your rescue, and now a spot for me," she said. "Thanks anyway," said Hank. "Goodbye," and then Hank puffed away. At the docks, Skarloey saw thousands of coaches. Just then, he didn't know that they were troublesome coaches. Just then, the naughty one, the rude one stared at him. "I am Graham," said the coach, "leader of the troublesome coaches." "And I'm Jill," said another. "And I'm Donna, Kerry, Wilhelmina, Leslie, and Pam," said the green one. Just then, Skarloey decided so. "You guys are so rough," he said. "Oh, yes we are. Pull us." "No thanks," said Skarloey. "I've already had a coach once, and her name was Wilhelmina, and you guys are not my coaches anymore." "Pull us." "Shut up," said Skarloey, and he bumped the coaches, and it began hurting their feelings. "Ouch," they said. "You rude engine." "Shut up," said Skarloey, and Skarloey puffed away so that he would puff into a different siding nearby. Wilhelmina felt sorry for Skarloey because she knew that those coaches were very, very troublesome on him now, and they were. At the next day, Skarloey was taking Wilhelmina back to the station. He left him at the station, and then he was ready for the troublesome coaches. "That's it, Graham," he said. "This time you're going to behave well, very nice, and if you don't, then your life will be in danger," he said. "Oh," said Graham. "Too bad," he said. "Okay then," said Skarloey. So Skarloey did not care. He was coupled to the troublesome coaches. "He'll pay for what he did to us yesterday," said Jill. "So we'll pay him out." So Skarloey was ready and puffed away to find the passengers. Skarloey was now ready, but now his driver gave him a second chance to make those coaches stop behaving bad. So Skarloey reached the bridge. He reached up the hill, up Gordon's Hill, but the coaches were unsure about that way. But the troublesome coaches didn't know that they were unsure about their way. But they didn't take notice until Skarloey was ready. Skarloey tried his best, but now he couldn't get. Skarloey tried his best, but he tried and tried, but he did manage it really well when he decided to get to the top. And then he did. "I'm ready," said Skarloey, "so don't worry," he said. He tried and tried, but the coaches were too heavy and Skarloey couldn't hold on.